This video is a review / demo of the app Blinkist. This video will go comprehensively into what I like and what I don't like about Blinkist, what is Blinkist, what it's good for, what it's not. I'll be brutally honest here, there's certain things I don't like about the app, so don't worry about me not being transparent, and I will mention those, and there's stuff I do like about the app. I will be reviewing the premium version of Blinkist, which is the most expensive version. There's only two paid versions. You pay monthly, and the most expensive version is still only about $80 per year, which comes down to like $5 a month and a few pennies per day. So if you're not familiar with the app Blinkist, it's basically an app that has over 2,000 book summaries, and this app is geared towards people into self-development, business, entrepreneurship, sales, marketing, and everything around that field. So the science of habit formation, success advice from successful people, all that stuff around personal development. There's even nutrition topics here. That's what's covered in Blinkist. So once you open the app, if you go to the top right and hit that file cabinet icon, and then you scroll down, you can kind of see the categories. So this does not have every possible book summary or genre. You will not find erotica or fiction on here. It is definitely geared towards self-development. So you have everything from economics, politics, management and leadership, science, mindfulness, happiness, biographies, communication skills, psychology, marketing, self-help, motivation, health and fitness, parenting, sex and relationships, money, corporate culture, and productivity. As you can see, it is very selective in what it's chosen, which works great for me because 99% of the books that I'm into are on here. Having said that, it is a vast industry, so there are still books that are being released or for some reason they haven't got to, but you'll be surprised. I've actually discovered a lot of new books from this app alone. It's a great way of finding new books, and the further you dive into it, the more you realize how vast this industry is. There's so many books on the topic. Now, the difference between the basic membership and the premium is that the premium one, the real big difference is that the premium one offers audiobook book summaries as well. So if you don't like reading these book summaries, you can listen to them as well, which is what I love the most about this. Maybe you don't have a lot of money to spend on audiobooks. This is maybe a good alternative. Audiobooks, I definitely like them a lot better than reading. I can listen to them in the car while I'm grocery shopping, and yeah, basically what you do is once you kind of like identify a book that you're interested in, you can click it and you can hit the button to add it to your library, and then once you hit your library, you can sort it by date added, the date opened, your progress, or alphabetical. I like to do date added, and then you can just start from the top and hit listen, and as long as you have autoplay, it will just cycle through all of them, which is a great feature. Now, you get the basic idea about the app now. I'll go into more details later. I want to touch on the things I don't like to prove that I'm transparent about this review. What I don't like about it is that it only goes up to 1.5 times speed. I wish it went up to 2 times speed or 2.5 times or 3 times speed. Now, I've experimented with 3 times speed with other resources like podcasts, and it's usually too fast for me. So I don't mind that it's not 3 times speed, but at least 2 times speed or 2.5 times speed. That would be great. It kind of sucks that it isn't, and because I wish I could listen to them faster. Another thing I wish was removed would be the page at the front and at the end of the book summaries. So these book summaries are broken down into pages called blinks. each blink is basically a page of the book summary. Most book summaries are about 10 pages long. Now what I don't like about it is that the first page and the last page of these blinks, the first and last blink are usually summaries of the summary, and I don't need that. So the first one's kind of useful because they basically summarize the book in like 2 sentences, so you get a kind of sense for it before you dive in. But then the final blink just kind of summarizes everything again, and kind of just recaps on the big points in like 2 sentences. And then it does, like, sometimes they'll do like a pitch and say stuff like, "This was brought to you by Blinkist.com. You can find us at Blinkist.com." And it's like, do I really need to hear this pitch? I know what the app is each time. So that's kind of annoying for me. Oh, there's my Gary Vaynerchuk screensaver. But overall, I like the fact that it just, once you hit play, you can just cycle through it. It would be kind of annoying if you hit play and then like it stops at the end of each book summary. But as long as you have them added to this library, it will go through them. Once one is finished, it will go to the next one. And they just recently added a new feature. If you go to this button at the bottom and then the gear icon at the top, they added a new feature called auto delete on completion. This is great because before, it would just stay in your library after you had listened to the audiobook. But that just kind of sucks because, well, you know, you've already listened to it. So then you have to manually go in and delete all the books in your audio library, and that takes time. And you just kind of want to auto delete them and then move on to the next one. And very quickly, trust me, very quickly, you'll add books to your library. Like within a very short amount of time, you'll have 100, maybe 200 or 300 books you want to listen to as book summaries, because there's just so many good ones out there. It's such a vast world. Another thing I wish was better was that if you don't download the books in advance, or if you don't have a good Wi-Fi or mobile connection while you're listening to them, it'll just kind of cut off and say, like, it'll give you a message that says, we do not have a good connection. We are pausing your audiobook until you have a good connection. And that's just kind of sucks. So if you want and you don't mind, you can hit the button that says download with mobile data and auto download audio. That way you can download these in advance. Therefore, it won't be a big deal. And then when it starts eating up your memory, you can hit the delete all button to delete previously downloaded audiobooks. Here's, of course, the premium service to connect with your Evernote or connect with your Kindle. And the great part about that is if you're listening to, or if you're reading it, you can highlight certain sections of it like this, and then you can just hit the highlight button there and it'll highlight that. And then you can kind of like save that highlight and share it via Evernote, or save it to your Kindle. And that's just a great feature. It's a great way of just kind of cross-referencing what you highlighted. So I'm going to delete this highlight because it is meaningless. Also, they have some good features at the top of this text summary. Now, once you're reading, it's kind of hard to get to it, but actually I don't even know how to get to it while you're reading. But basically, you can change the font size if you prefer a font size that is larger, so it appears at the end of the book summary. So you can make it larger or smaller, or you can change it to black on white or white on black if that's what you prefer. A larger font size is easier to read, so that's great. You can also jump to, they have a table of contents for this book summary, which I think is kind of redundant, or maybe a bit too I mean, it's useful if you like that sort of stuff. I think it's maybe a bit too much because, I mean, it's a 10-page book summary. Another thing that I just kind of want to warn you on before I get into all the stuff I like about Blinkist is that some books, I've read some books cover to cover, and some books cannot be summarized. Biographies especially. There's some books that just have so many good bits of golden nuggets that you just can't summarize them, because every part of the book is there for a reason. And Blinkist will attempt to summarize everything. They come out with new book summaries like almost every day, and that's what I don't like about it. It's kind of like churned out in a way, and I don't think a 5 or 10 page summary, because some of the book summaries are kind of shorter. I don't think a 10-page summary really does it justice. Some of these summaries are sometimes just like 6 pages, and I don't think that really does justice some of these books. So I use Blinkist more so as a supplementary thing, kind of like supplement your workouts at the gym, but they don't replace your gym workouts. They only help. I also use it as a avenue to find new books that I would love reading. However, it should not just be used as a substitute completely, because you will mistakenly think that you've completely understood the book by reading like this 10-page book summary, when you're missing out on a lot of great stuff by actually reading the book. Now let's get into some stuff I love about the app. I've already covered how the audiobook is in general really cool, and how you can have an auto delete feature. There's also a section here, if you hit this button here, where you can kind of add favorites and highlights. So if you highlight a certain part of a quote, then you can jump to it right here, and whenever you want to reference a quote or jump to it in the app, you can see it right here and check it out. Of course, I also love the filters. You can filter by all sorts of stuff. You can filter by audiobooks only. You can filter by in progress only. You can sort by alphabetic. You can sort by all sorts of other things. Open, in progress, when it was last added. And then you can even add tags. I think they went a bit overboard here to add tags to your book summaries, but that's another way of sorting it if you are one of those like organization junkies. I just kind of like reading them and then just deleting them. They have a trending section here for new books that are trending. Then there's a section here on curated lists. So this is pretty cool. They will have like influencers or well-known people come aboard and give a list of like 10 books that they're into. Vishen Lakhiani is one of these guys who's pretty well known in the space. He's the CEO of Mind Valley, which is like $100 million plus company that teaches self-development stuff online. He created his own list of books that he's into here. Noah Kagan has done something similar. He has 13 books that he recommends. So this is great. And you can just kind of look through these, and if there's any that you really like, you can go ahead and add it to your wish list to read. If there's any that you don't, you can skip them, of course. Also, you can kind of like jump into these, and let's say you really like this author and you want to see if he or she has more books. You can search up the author. So you can sort by author names. You can sort by a bunch of different things here. New, audio only. Again, some of these books are text summarized, but they aren't audio summarized yet. But if you want to search Seth Godin here, you can do that, and it will pull up anything by Seth Godin, which you can go ahead and take a look at. So also they have daily picks. So this is just like your editor's pick for the day. Those are usually the ones that come for free for people who don't want to pay. Then there's recommended stuff just based on what you've listened to already. And this is basically just like a page to recommend stuff to you. Of course, my favorite thing to do is to kind of go into the category section. And if I'm really into productivity, I can jump into here. And then you have a section at the top called Surprise Me, where you can kind of just look at what they recommend, and then here you can just kind of sift through and look at the productivity stuff and see what is available there. So the app is pretty intuitive once you get in there and you start looking. It's also something that is useful as a supplemental tool, but again, not as something that I would recommend as something you should do from the get-go, and assume that you never have to actually read a full book from cover to cover. So a lot of people make that mistake when they're checking this out. It's also a good way of testing out new books. So maybe you can find books that you're into, but then you don't really know for sure if it's something worth reading. So you can use this as a book summary primer or test to really go in there and kind of see if this is actually worth reading based off this book summary. Some people also say that they will use this as a refresher. So maybe they read the book already, or they just want to touch up on some of the top points in the book. Then they'll come to a book summary. So that's what I have to say about Blinkist. I will leave a link in the description to my affiliate link for Blinkist. So if you go through my affiliate link and you purchase a Blinkist subscription, I will get a commission at no extra cost for you. Now, if you just want to buy it straight from the website, you can do that, but I will not get a commission. So if you want to kind of thank me at no extra cost to you, please go through my affiliate link if you're interested in trying out Blinkist. I will set up a URL for you to go to directly. It's just going to be willyoulaugh.com, which is my site, /Blinkist. That's spelled B-L-I-N-K-I-S-T. So that's it for my review. Again, I just want to reiterate that it is a good app to use, but it should not be a replacement for actually reading books. That's a big mistake people make. So thanks for watching, and subscribe for more reviews like this. Thanks.